So for the first part, a lot of people missed this, what are the dimensions? They just left them blank. That's 3 easy points you can make up next time, okay? The dimensions for A, I'm looking for what kind of matrix is this? It's a 2 by 2. So literally all I put here is 2 by 2. Now some of yours might be in different order, different arrangements, okay? But it's still the same basic questions. So then D, matrix D is a 3 rows, 2 columns. So it's a 3 by 2. And then F is a 2 by 3. Now, if we look at this next question, I'm looking to add these 2 matrices together. I got to add each corresponding piece. So 3 minus 4 is -1. -5 plus 3 is -2. 6 plus 3 is 9. And 0 plus 3 is 3. Okay? Just add the 2 matrices together. Every piece. Resume. Okay, can everyone please find this question on their versions? All right, now we're doing more than one step at a time. We got to add 3 plus -4 minus 4. I just took all of the top left pieces minus 4. You see that? So 3 plus -4 minus 4. That's the same thing as saying 3 minus 8, which should be -5. Now I'm going to go ahead and do all of the top rights. -5 plus 3 minus -5. So we do -5 plus 3 minus -5. This becomes -5 plus 3 plus 5, which is -5. Let's see, that's going to combine to be -2, right? -5 plus 3 is -2 plus 5, or just 3. So my final top right answer is 3. Now we go bottom left. 6 plus 3 minus -3. 6 plus 3 minus -3 becomes 6 plus 3 plus 3, which is 12. Okay. Now we go with the bottom left. 0 plus 3 minus 1. So 0 plus 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1, 2. There you go. No need to do any further than that. Just add them and subtract them. 2 steps in 1. Any questions off of this? Yes, Emma. Okay. All right. So here on this next one, please find this question. If you're in a different order, just find this question on your page. You'll be fine. And if you're on your phone and you're not paying attention, then I have no sympathy for you. Understand? So from here, I need to do the multiplication first, right? I got to do multiply before I add. So I multiply all those. 8, -10, -6, and 2. I multiply all those together. Now I'm going to add this next matrix. -5, 6, 0. Okay. I take each corresponding piece. 8 plus 3 is 11. -5 plus -10, ooh, that's going to be -15. Okay, this one's a tricky one. People got this one wrong a lot. -10 plus -5. If you write it somewhere else, you'll see it's going to be -10 plus -5. Combine those together and end up with -15. Okay, just take each corner. Now we're going to do lower left. So -6 and plus 6, that's 0. 2 plus 0, 2. There's my final answer. Concerns? Questions? Okay. Multiply first, then add. Over here I'm going to say multiply first, then add. Okay, don't forget that. Next question. I still see people writing, so I'm going to give them time to write it if they want to. Okay. You good? All right. Next question over here. We just multiply everything. Everything gets multiplied by -4 all the way through, every little thing. So I end up with 4 times 3 is -12. 4 times 2 is -8. 4 times -4, ooh, that's going to be positive 16. -24 looks like, positive 12, and positive 16. Every single one of those, oh geez, I just multiplied by 4, -4. We good? I'm going to write over here, I'm going to say times everything. That's just weird. The y came before the r. Times everything by -4. All right. Moving on. You'll have access to this YouTube video, right? I'll send you the link. I don't know, can I even do that? You'll have to go on my YouTube channel, I guess, right? Those of you who had me last year know what that is. All right. Oh, matrix multiplication. All right. First row times first column. It's going to be 3 times -4 plus -5 times 3. I want everyone to see this. I take the first row times the first column. This was on your cheat sheet, guys. You could have just followed the cheat sheet and been fine. Do you want to see the cheat sheet? Where it's at on the cheat sheet? Nobody? All right. So first row times first column. So 3 times -4 is -12 plus -15 ends up being -27. So the answer here should be -27. First row, first column. I guess if you want to get technical, we should have started with this, huh? Should have started with, this is a 2 by 2 and a 2 by 2. They have the same, so it's good. The answer is going to be a 2 by 2. So I draw out my 2 by 2, draw out my boxes. This is going to be second row, first column, first row, second column, second row, second column. Okay, tested all that out. We're good. We did first row by first column, got 27. Now we're going to go ahead and do first row by second column. And we do 3 times 3 plus -5. That's a 15. I don't know where that happened. -5 times 3. 9 plus -15 gets you -6. Yes?
So you add them together for subtracting?
Yes, subtracting was for determinants. That was for like upstroke versus downstroke. Remember that?
Oh, okay.
But for multiplying matrices, we just want to combine them all together, and that's more of an addition property. Okay, so that was first row, second column. Now we're going on with second row, first column. 6 times -4 plus 0 times 3. 0 times 3 goes away, and we're left with -24. So down here I put -24. Next one, we do second row, second column. 6 times 3 plus 0 times 3. 18 plus 0 is just 18. So down here in this bottom corner, I put 18. And there's my final answer. Row by column, all the way through. Okay. Any further questions? Clarifications? Anything? All right. Looks like we're going to do multiplication. I had a lot of people ask me on this one, do I multiply the 3 or do I multiply the -3? Okay. There's 2 ways to go about doing it. Okay. If you multiply by just the 3, you got to keep it minus sign. You got to keep it subtraction. Okay. If you multiply by the -3, then you got to make it an addition problem. Either way works. I'm going to go ahead and do it without the negative just to keep it a subtraction sign, just to see what happens. Okay. So I'm going to times everything in here by 3. Oh, that looks like spider legs. So I end up with 15, -6, I believe. 9, 15, 12, 3. All I did was times by the 3. That means this negative sign is still here. Subtract. Okay, bring down my other matrix. 1, -5, 6, -2, -6, 3. And now we have to subtract. So 1 minus 15. -14. -5 minus -6. Well, that becomes -5 minus -6. That becomes a plus sign. That means this equals 1. So now we have 6 minus 9. -3. Down here we'll have -2 minus 15. -17. -6 minus 12. -18. And then 3 minus 3 is 0. Cool. Multiply by 3 and then subtract. Are there any questions? Does that x, does that mean times? We all understand that means times? Times by 3? Not x by 3, that would be weird. Okay,
So I'm times it by -3,
then you would add it.
and then I add.
Mhm.
But, okay, I thought I put the answer for the -17, I put 13. What did I do wrong? Everything else I had right.
Yes, you would have done -2 plus -15, and you ended up with 13 instead of 17. Look at your numbers and see if you got 13, because that could have very easily been confused to be 15 minus 2 is 13. But it's not. We're doing -2 minus 15. Okay? All right. Let's see what else we got. Ooh, matrix multiplication. This is a 2 by 3, and this is a 3 by 2. Check the middle numbers. They're the same. That means we can do it. My final answer is going to be a 2 by 2 matrix. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that 2 by 2 matrix in my answer box, right? I want this to be my answers. Here's my 1, 1. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. Okay, let's go ahead and do 1, 1 first. First row by first column. 1 times 3 plus -5 times 2 plus 6 times -4. Does everyone see where those numbers came from? They're all in the first row or the first column. So this becomes 3 plus -10 plus -24. So this becomes -7. Mrs. Lowe wants you back over in the room for a little bit. I don't know. She just said send me. Just go check again. Just for me. I know, but she just called me. I don't know. Adios. All right, so that becomes -7 plus -24. And this becomes -31. When convenient. Okay, whenever you want. So that becomes my first point is -31. So I put right here in my 1, 1 box, I put -31. In my 1, 2 box, let's go ahead and clear this out. This space here, I can use this space down here. I'm going to do first row, second column. So 1 times 6 plus -5 times -3 plus 6 times -4. This becomes 6 plus 15 plus -24. This becomes 21 plus -24, which is -3. Okay. My 1, 2 box is a -3. Check. Check, check, 1, 2, check. Any questions? Does anybody have any idea how I did that?
Whenever it's just the dot, you always do that like that? You don't just times across?
No, never. This is matrix multiplication. You have to do row by column. Okay. Next one says 2, 1, so I go with the second row, first column. Second row, first column. It's going to get me -2 times 3 plus -6 times 2 plus 3 times -4. -6 plus -12 plus -12. It's going to get me -30, looks like. Add all those together, get -30. That's going to be my first box down here is -30. And then my 2, 2 box is going to be over here. We get the second row, second column. -2 times 6, -6 times -3, 3 times -4, -12 plus 18 plus -12. All right, so it's going to be 6 plus -12, which is going to be equal to -6. So my bottom right corner gets the answer of -6. Whoa! Matrix multiplication, people.
Is it recording?
Yes. Is that okay? Woo! Yeah. What? Ticket. I do have to blow my horn.
Do it right now.
Right now?
No, you have to unpause it.
All right, are we done with this page?
Yeah.
No, we're not done with this page. We got one more. All right, this one is a 2 by 3. This one is a 2 by 3. Middle numbers are not the same. Therefore, it is ain't going to happen. Always check. It's not. It's a 2 by 3 times a 2 by 3, right? So it can't happen. A lot of people left this one blank, and I agree with you. Leaving it blank was a good choice, except for you should have written no solution or ain't going to happen. Just leaving it blank doesn't tell me anything. So ain't going to happen. Is that the end of the page?
Yeah.
Page 1 done in under, whatever, how long that took. I have no idea. Okay. Okay, these ones, guys, the second page, you'll be okay, I promise. Okay. The structure of the questions may have been confusing, and I understand that. I wish that we could have had, maybe a review worksheet that may have prepped you for this. I don't know. Oh, wait, we did. But the wording still was different, so I understand. So let's go over how we're going to do this. This, I'm looking for the determinant of G. If I scroll up to my trusty cheat sheet, let's look for determinant. Where'd determinant go? Where? Oh, here we go. Det, determinant. I want to find the determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix. So det A is AD times CB. AD minus CB. It tells you right there on the cheat sheet what to do. Okay? Let's go find that determinant we were just trying to find. So det G, you should have gone to your cheat sheet and looked for det G. And it says AD 8 times 2 minus 1 times -6. That's exactly what it says in the cheat sheet. I just did exactly what it said, follow the cheat sheet, and I get -16 minus -6. So this becomes equals -10. That is my determinant, -10. Not 1 over -10. That we use the determinant later on for inverses, but for right now, all I want to know is what's the determinant. It's -10. Are we okay with that? Okay, so there's the determinant. Now it says the inverse matrix is the next question. Can I erase this? I don't have a lot of room to keep rewriting over and over again. So the inverse matrix, now we go look back at our cheat sheet and we say inverse matrix. Where's that at? Inverse matrix right here. No, identity matrix, inverse matrix. Here we go. This is the symbol for inverse matrix, okay, Taylor? It just means a to the -1. It's just inverse. Okay, this is another way to write that. This is another way to write that. All three of those are the exact same things. So since we just did AD minus CB, that's where that goes. Then we got to do this funky stuff to this matrix. We got to change the places for A and D. Okay, we've got to change the signs for B and C. That's how we're going to find our inverse matrix. So if we go back down here to this question, I've got to do everything it told me on the cheat sheet. Change positions, 2, -8. Change the signs, 6, -1. So there is the beginning of my inverse matrix. I still need the 1 over -10 in front. Okay, that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is my inverse matrix. Okay? I took the original matrix, I switched places, I changed signs, and I put the 1 over determinant in the front. And it tells you right there at the bottom of your cheat sheet exactly what to do. Okay, so right here we get 1 over -10, 2, -8, 6, -1. And there's my answer. Okay, use this information that we just created. We're doing it in steps. First step, get the determinant. Second step, find the inverse matrix. Third step is going to be using that information and applying it to this situation right here. Okay, we're going to multiply this matrix by this stuff in step 2. So I'm going to take this 1 over -10 times 2, 6, -1, -8 times this matrix right here. 34, -13. Okay, I got to do all that multiplication. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a 2 by 2. This is a 2 by 1. The middle numbers are the same. The outer numbers make a 2 by 1. Let's go ahead and make a 2 by 1 matrix to start us off. Here's my top box. Here's my bottom box. That means this is a 1, 1. This is a 2, 1. First row, first column. Changing colors. First row, first column. I got 2 times 34 plus 6 times negative 13. So the 2 times 34 is going to get me 68 minus 6 times 13, 78. Very good. All right. So 68 minus 78 should be negative 10. So I've got that negative 10 as my first answer. Negative 10. Let's go with the second row. First column. Negative 1 times 34 plus negative 8 times negative 13. So it's going to be 34, negative 34, plus 104, 104, which ends up being 70. So my answer here is going to be 70. So that takes care of the matrix multiplication. That takes care of all of this. That's all done, out of the way. I still have to take care of this 1 over 10. 1 over negative 10. If I multiply that into both of these, it's going to be positive 1 and a negative 7. So my final answer should be positive 1 and negative 7. How many people did I lose now? At least half? I think we're okay. First step, find the determinant. That's a point. Second step, find the inverse matrix. That's a point. If you can't do this step right here, that's just 1 point. You're okay. You still got 2 out of 3 for the question. Ain't bad. But right here, you take step 2 and multiply it by this matrix as the answer. You'll be done. Okay? All right. I would love for that to be a question. Hey, how you doing?
Why did you put the 1 over negative 10 if it says leave the determinant out?
Does it say that? Hey, it does say leave the determinant factored out. I can read. No, I can't. You should definitely have left it up, factored out. This would also be a correct answer. I would have accepted either answer either way. Whether you multiply up here, if you multiplied it in, I give you credit either way. And I think when it says leave the determinant factored out, it's talking about this answer up here, not this answer down here.
No, I didn't. I was leaving the answer there.
Up here? Yeah. So this one here is good. You left the determinant out. This one down here, you could final it out and get your final answer. Either way works. Again, I was very liberal. I was trying to give you as many points as I possibly could muster. Okay? So if you did the best you could, I gave you as much points as I could. So when the French people would fence and they would get hit, they'd touché, end the bout, and you start over. So be careful how you use the word, because a French person might, I didn't touch you. Yeah. Anyways, back to math. Yeah, you better be careful. I'll touché your face. Next question. Here we go. Find the determinant and the inverse. It's the same type of question, right? So we go with the determinant. Det H. We multiply negative 2 times 3, and we subtract 5 times negative 1. This becomes negative 6 minus negative 5, which becomes a plus. Oh, wait, you said don't use red. Nathan? I heard you, but I did not hear you. No, I didn't. I'm sorry. Is blue better? Is blue good? To be honest? You want to come sit at the front? We got empty seats up here. All right. I could probably make it purple. Is that purple? DJ wanted purple, so we're doing purple. Okay. So determinant of H. I already got that. What was it? It was negative 2 times. Now I can't even think straight. Negative 2 times 3 minus negative 5. No, positive 5 times negative 1. There we go. This is going to be negative 6 minus negative 5. This becomes a plus sign, which gives me negative 1, right? So my determinant is just negative 1. Taylor? Can somebody help her out? Keep your buddies up. All right? They want to learn this stuff. They want to pay attention. Some of them just kind of fall asleep. All right. So there's my determinant. It's negative 1. Okay, I found my determinant. Now I'm going to go for my inverse matrix. Okay, that's the one where I have to have negative 1. Oh, let's see, not negative 1. I got to have 1 over negative 1. That's the first part of my inverse matrix. The next part is negative 2. Oh, wait, negative 2 and 3 have to switch places, right? So we switch places, 3, negative 2, and we change signs, 1, negative 5. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is my inverse matrix. And I could leave it just like that if I wanted to. I know it doesn't say leave it factored out, but I'm okay with you doing either way. 3, 1, negative 5, negative 2. So with that, for this one, we just found step 1. Now we're on to step 2. Now we're going to use step 2 to solve step 3, Taylor. We just had a break. Now go right back to sleep. Okay? Pick up your pencil. Pick up your pencil. Thanks so much. I'm making up all the names in the room, okay? So none of these are your real names. So here we go. I take my inverse matrix and I plug it right here in front of this answer. And I end up with 1 over negative 1 times my inverse matrix, 3, 1. Doesn't look like a 3, 1. 3, 1, negative 5. What is it, negative 2? That 1's not in the right spot for me. Sorry, there you go. 3, 1, negative 5, negative 2. Then I times it by my original matrix of 2, 4, 1, negative 2. Does everyone see where those matrices came from? By raise of hands, who sees where they come from? Who's not paying attention at all? There's the rest of you. Okay, thank you. All right. So from here we do matrix multiplication. I take first row by first column, and I get 6 plus 1 is 7. So my new matrix is going to have a 7 right there. And then I do first row times second column, which is going to get me 12, which is going to be 10. Am I skipping stuff?
No.
I do second row times first column, which is going to give me negative 10, and negative 2, which is going to get me negative 12. And then I get second row times second column, which is going to get me negative 20, and positive 4, which is going to get me negative 16. But I still have to times it by 1 over negative 1. So that just means I change all the signs, and I get negative 7, negative 10, 12, 16. There you go. Are there any questions about how I did that? I know I skipped a lot of the stuff in the matrix multiplication, but I've already shown you ways to do matrix multiplication. So just apply those same rules we learned last time, and I just skipped some steps. You okay with that? The important part is knowing how to set up the problem. And that I have now shown you. Hey, look, they give us an easy one right here. Determinant of R. How do we find determinants? Times negative 4, subtract 4. Please tell me everyone sees that. I do negative 4 times 1 minus 2 times 2, which gets me negative 4 and 4. We have to subtract them. Negative 4 minus 4 is negative 8. I saw a lot of zeros. Okay, it's not 0. It's not 4 minus 4. It's negative 4 minus 4. Total it together gets you negative 8. So right here it says use the matrix operations to solve. Okay, first step, multiply throughout. 4, 14, 8, negative 10. Now if I want to get rid of this matrix, I have to subtract this matrix to both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and put subtract matrix, and I'm over here, I'm going to put subtract 4, 14, 8, negative 10. Done? Very nice. Come set it down over somewhere. So 10 minus 4, guys. Remember, 10 minus 4 is 6. 5 minus 14 is negative 9. Negative 7 minus 8 is going to get me negative 15. 11 minus negative 10 should get me 21. Okay, so that's my subtraction problem. Now I've got to divide this side by negative 3. Divide that by negative 3. And divide everything in here by negative 3. Divide by 3. Divide by negative 3. Divide by negative 3. Divide by negative 3. And I end up with negative 2, 3, 5, negative 7. And that should be my final answer. I just used algebra. Let's recap this. Everyone's on the board for a second? multiply by 2. First step. Subtract it to both sides, right? So I subtract this new matrix over here. I get this guy here. Last step is to get that negative 3 away from the k. So I divide by negative 3. I divide everything by negative 3. I end up with
Alrighty then.
Just realized I have no idea what that's Question.
Or maybe you sometimes you eat your beer, like everything your beer in your mouth.
Ew. I mean, I was just like.
My wife, whenever I want to gross her out, she asks me that.
You should probably
So I
pause
just-
it. Yeah.
Ew.
And she's like, ew. I was like, what, honey? I'm flossing. Ow, that's disgusting. It's really gross. By the way, last day for beard.
No.
Come Monday, it's going to be a mustache.
Yeah.
Mustache March. That'll be the last day or the second last day. So,
What's the first one that you're gonna say?
get rid of the chin and the neck. So I'll have this big, like, chops. It'll be really cool. Okay. You guys get me off topic. I see how it is. Now we have the beast. The beast. The answers on this one are broken down on purpose, guys. Watch. It even tells you what to do. It says, I want the coefficient matrix, and then I want the determinant. And then I want the determinant of each of these matrices, and then I want you to bring them all together. Just like I did in class. Remember how we lined them all up? Okay, so let's start one at a time. You might want to pay attention to this one. You might want to not fall asleep for this one. Good, she's not. So we have here, write the coefficient matrix. Just the coefficient matrix. If I could find this on your paper, I'd give you points for it. It's going to be 2. Are there any... Oh, geez, that's really awkward. Okay. Let's go big on this one, right? I go small. So I have 2 for the x. Is there an x in the middle equation? So that's going to give me a 0. There's a negative 2 in the bottom equation. Now we'll go for y's. There's a 3 in the y position. There's a 1 in the y position. And then there's a negative... Oh, no, there's nothing in the y position, is there? Big fat goose egg. Okay. A lot of people got confused and they put a negative 3 for the y. The negative 3 goes for the z. It's in front of the z, so it's got to go in the z. Here's 2, negative 3, and 10. Nope, not 10. Where'd that 10 come from? I'm going crazy. It's negative 4. Ha! Just making sure you're paying attention. So there is my coefficient matrix. I'm going to go ahead and move it down here for a little bit so I can do the determinant. Are you guys okay with that? That right there is my coefficient matrix. It goes right there. Boom. So from here, we're going to do determinant. 2, 0, negative 2. 3, 1, 0. Oh, I can do multiple colors, can't I? So blue for the downstroke. 2 times 1 is 2. Times negative 4 is negative 8. 3 times negative 3 times negative 2. That should get me 18. Did I lose something? And then we're going to have, this one's going to be zeros, right? So plus 0. This gets me a 10 in the front. Now we're going to subtract all of the upstrokes. So here this gets me negative 4. That gets me a 0. And that gets me a 0. So this gets me minus negative 4. What is that going to get me total? 10 minus negative 4 should be 14. So my determinant is 14. That's my answer right here. Determinant is 14. That was one piece. That would have been 2 points right there. Just that right there, giving 2 points. Not bad? Just for that, 2 points. So from there, let's go ahead and clear this out a little bit. Free up some space to do more work. You obviously wouldn't be able to do that. That's okay. No. It would be cool. Basically what I heard from that is Mr. MacArthur's cool. That's what I heard. Okay. So there is... Oh, isn't technology cool?
Yeah, technology, not this.
Oh, sick burn. That'll happen. I love the dance. All right, so here we go. Back to math. No laughing. No fun times. What is this? Here we go. Determinant. I'm looking for my X matrix now. So in the X matrix position, we're going to put the answers. So 0, 10, 16. The Y column doesn't change. It's still 3, 1, 0. The z column doesn't change. It's still 2, negative 3, negative 4. From here, we do determinant. Oh, I got to rewrite the two columns. 0, 10, 16, and 3, 1, 0. All right, so this one's going to be a 0 plus, 3 times negative 3 times 16. That's going to stink. 16 times 9. Somebody help me?
145.
Thank you. 144?
No, because that's 9 times 6.
54.
Yeah.
I got you. So now next one's going to be a 0. So I have 144 in my first position. 144 minus whatever happens next. 16 times 2 is 32. This one's going to get me a 0. And then 4 times 10 times 3, that's going to be 120. Ooh, negative 120. So these two combine together. 32 and negative 120 combine together to make negative 98? No. 88. I can count. Counting's hard. 88. So now we do 144 minus... I have a problem here. Something's wrong. Hang on. Is it positive 144? No, it's it's a 0. No, it's positive 144. That's correct. Now the upstroke. 16, that's 32. Did I mess something up here? Negative 4, 10, 3. Huh. You know what we're going to do? This is not a negative 3. That's just a 3. I don't know why that line's there confusing me. This is just a 3. I am sloppy. So negative 144. That doesn't even look like a negative 144. That looks like a negative 144. So we have negative 144 minus negative 88. This becomes a plus sign. That becomes negative 56. Is that correct? Somebody check me. Awesome. I'm so glad you guys are paying attention. So I take this negative 56. Whoa, geez. What is going on here, people? I quite honestly do not know. Negative 56 is my determinant right there. Clear out my box. Get some space to move around in, right? So my determinant's 56. Now I got to go ahead and reset my matrix. I don't want my X matrix anymore. I want my Y matrix. So I set up my Y matrix as 2, 0, negative 2. The answers go here. 0, 10, 16. Last one's going to be 2, negative 3, negative 4. Rewrite my two columns. 2, 0, negative 2, 0, 10, 16. Downstroke is going to get me negative 80, I think, negative 80. 0 and 0. Each one of these has a 0 in it. So that gets me negative 80. Minus my upstroke. That's going to get me negative 40. Oh, 16 times 5, really? That's 80. Technically negative 80. And then that one's going to be a 0. So negative 40, negative 80 makes negative 120.
Where'd you get 5?
Oh, that's going to be a 6, not a 5. See? Even I can make mistakes. I'll answer that question. So negative 40. What's 5? 6 times? 90? 96. So
Oh, yeah.
combine those together, we end up with negative 136. So this becomes a plus sign, which gives me positive 56. So my determinant here is 56. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
So here we go. I just found out my Y determinant. Guys, each one of these is worth a point. But you have to do these in order to get the 3-point bonus here at the bottom. So really each one's worth 2 points. So my Z matrix. 2, 0, negative 2. 3, 1, 0, 0, 10, 16. We multiply down. Oh, rewrite your two columns. 2, 0, negative 2, 3, 1, 0. Got it. 32. That's going to get you negative 60. Or plus negative 60. I'm just doing all the downstrokes. They all add together, right? And then plus 0. So 32 minus 60 is going to be negative 28. Is that right? Yeah, it is. Good job, Mr. MacArthur. Thanks. Appreciate that. So now I go upstroke. 0, 0, 0. So negative 28 minus 0 is still going to be negative 28. So the determinant of the Z matrix is negative 28. Now to find the points that I need, I'm going to take each one of these pieces and divide it by 14, divide it by 14, divide it by 14. I divide it by the number that I need. So, I know. Okay, so we do 56 divided by, that's going to be negative 4, 4, negative 2. And there, my friends, is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points. On a 43 question test, 8 points is the same thing as 20%. Hold on, let me do the math on that again. That was now the last one may have been a little bit hard, right? There's all those 3 crazy big matrices. Let's see if I can get this one ready for us just alone. The coefficient matrix. All I need is negative 2, negative 1, negative 3, negative 1. There is my coefficient matrix. I'm going to go ahead and drag and select that. I'm going to move it over here into my answer box. I want the coefficient matrix right there. Boom. Done. So now from here, I'm going to find my determinant. I multiply down negative 2 times negative 1 minus negative 1 times negative 3. This becomes 2 minus 3. My coefficient, the determinant is negative 1. There is my determinant. We're done. 2 points right there. Feel good? Okay, right there, those 2 points. How much would that be on a 40-question test? I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. So that was my coefficient matrix. Let's go ahead and do my X matrix now. If I do my X matrix, instead of my X numbers, I want my answers. So negative 4, 0, negative 3, negative 1. Now that's my X matrix. Let's find the determinant. Negative 4 times negative 1 minus 0 times negative 3. Well, 0 times negative 3 goes away, and I'm just left with 4. So my determinant for my X matrix is 4. Let's do the Y matrix now. Instead of having the Y values, we're going to have just the answers, negative 4, 0. So now we have negative 2 times 0 minus negative 1 times negative 4. This is going to be 0 minus 4, which is negative 4. So my determinant here is negative 4. Now watch what happens, Carlos. I'm going to take this, I'm going to divide by negative 1 and divide by negative 1. That gets me an X value of negative 4 and a Y value of 4. Yeah, I know. I made it up. It's drink in the sky. I don't know what that is. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, coefficient matrix. Just the numbers in front of the letter. That's 1 point. Find the determinant. Which you've done already. 2 or 3 different places on the test. You found the determinant of a single 2x2 matrix. Find another determinant of a 2x2 matrix. You can do that. You can do this. You can do these two. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. All of it just off of 2x2 matrices. If you know what you're doing, you can do this. And if you were paying attention to how I did it, it shouldn't be pretty quick, yeah? Pretty quick? Everyone's like, no, yes, maybe. How about one of these?
No, that's
It is bad for my neck. And that gets us to the back page. That gets us to multiple choice. I'll take these by selection. Does anybody has a question on the multiple choice section? Well, we got to figure out which one, number 5. Is it the one that you see on the board here? It should be. Solving systems using elimination? That's a great question, sir. Using elimination, we need to get the same number, different signs. So I'm going to go ahead and times this bottom number right here by 2. If I times everything by 2, I'm going to get negative 16x, 2y equals 20. And now I'm going to add down. The 16s go away. This becomes negative 5y is equal to negative 10. Divide by negative 5. Divide by negative 5. Y equals 2. So in all of these, there's only one that has y equals 2, and that's my answer. I had to go further.
Oh, it's equal.
So y equals 2. Guys, there's only one option here.
Wow. There's always more.
So you can just stop right there. I don't have to go any further. That's nice. Let me just take a quick gander at number 4. Okay, solve systems. We just did one just like this. Okay, solving with elimination. The 3 and the x's go away, and you're left with negative 6. Y equals negative 24. Terrible handwriting. I'm writing standing up. Is that okay? I'll get down here close. Hi. Negative 24. Divide by 6. Divide by 6. And we end up with y equals 4. And so there's 2 options. We've got 2 options, 7 or 10. Either way, if I take this 4 and plug it back in, I have 3x plus 4 equals negative 26. Subtract 4 to both sides. And we end up with 3x equals negative 30. Divide by 3, x equals negative 10. There's only one that has that answer, so the answer is C. There you go. Okay, let's check out number 10. Solving systems using elimination. Okay, if I said specifically to use elimination, that's fine. Could I use Cramer's rule? Yeah. I wouldn't punish if you use Cramer's rule. That'd be totally fine. But other teachers might, and since this is on YouTube, do what it says. So solve by elimination. This is the one that takes up quite a bit of room. We're going to stack 2 equations on one side. 6x minus 6y plus 6z equals 18. Now, which one am I going to want to...
The top one, the middle one, and the top one.
So top one and the middle one. So we're going to get rid of the z. I like that idea. 2x plus 2y minus 6z is equal to negative 22. Over here, we're going to stack the top one. 6x, 6y plus 6z is equal to 18. 6x minus 4y minus 6z is equal to negative 20. So now I stacked both of them, right? Now we're going to eliminate. Let's go ahead and eliminate on the right-hand side. The z's go away, and I'm left with 8x minus 4y is equal to negative 4. Over here, the z's cross off, and I end up with 12x minus 10y is equal to negative 2. Okay, so now I'm going to bring those two together. I'm going to stack them on top of each other. We're going to do this. We're going to do 12x minus 10y is equal to negative 2. I got to make these have the same numbers, and they don't currently have that. So you want to do those 4? Okay, let's do negative 4 to the bottom and 10 to the top. This ends up being 80x minus 40y is equal to negative 40. This becomes negative 48x plus 40y is equal to negative, just positive 8. Come on now. Come on now. There it is. So now we eliminate this down. The 40s go away, and we're left with 80 minus 48 is what? 32 equals negative 32. Divide by 32. Divide by 32. X equals negative 1. We haven't found y yet. We're going to take this and plug it in right over here. So now I have negative 12 minus 10y is equal to negative 2. Plus 12 to both sides. We'll do negative 10y is equal to 10. Divide by negative 10. Divide by negative 10. Y equals negative 1. So there's y, there's x. Looks like if x equals negative 1 and y equals negative 1, there's only one possible answer, and that's A, and I'm done. I don't have to go back and do Z, do I? Nope. I don't know yet. Let's see. Just hold on for a second. Okay, so there is some multiple choice questions. Guys, I want to take the last 13 minutes or so to go over again any questions that you didn't feel like you got to see very well because of how quickly I had to go through it. technically I've gone through everything. I'm going to stop the recording.